What's up, my dudes? It's Musmacker here with another story time, and this one is very special to me. It's very important to me. It's a huge part of my life, and this all started back in January 2014. I decided to watch the film Drive one night after hearing some pretty good things about it. Little did I know this movie was going to change my life completely. I basically grew an obsession over this movie over a 2-month period of time that stretched out over 3 to 4 months, and in that timeline, that time period of me being obsessed with this movie or loving this movie so much, thinking this is the greatest movie I've ever came across, I decided to seek help. And what place, where else would anybody go for help? 4chan. I went to 4chan for help. And I decided to go to the advice board. And for those of you, really quickly, who don't know 4chan, or what 4chan is, I should say, 4chan is in person, I'm sorry about that. It's a forum. It's similar to Reddit, but except it's not as filtered as Reddit, since Reddit is a little bit more controlled. It's a little maybe nicer, I guess you can say. And I didn't really get that much help on advice. All I really got told was that I was a faggot. But moving on, the obsession, like I said, it was getting to be a little bit too extreme. I bought the jacket. I don't know, I love the soundtrack. I would listen to it all the time. I just absolutely loved the movie Drive. And you know, three years prior to that, I didn't even think anything of the movie when it first came out in 2011. I thought it was ridiculous, but that's besides the point. I moved from /advice to /b, which is random, on 4chan. I'm like, maybe these guys will help me. So I posted my Snapchat, a Snapchat that I made. I wasn't going to post my personal Snapchat on there. And I came across a few random people, and then I saw this one girl, and we talked a little bit. And, you know, she asked me, she's like, oh, try and guess my name. You know, we Snapchatted for weeks already, and I couldn't guess her name at all. And she's telling me it's such an S, it's not really a common name. So I'm like, okay, Samantha, Sally, even though Sally's not really. I could say Sam, but that's also Samantha. But it was Shauntel, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know, I've never met a Shauntel. That was really, you know, cool and unique. I thought that was really great. And then I decided to ask for her number. And I found out she lived in Connecticut, and I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome, maybe we could meet up. And we talked from February to September, and in that time, we didn't really meet up at all. And my friends were saying, bro, like, I don't know why you're talking to her, she's probably a catfish, you know, all these things keep coming up between both of you guys. You know, it's not worth it. And even the thought of that, like, even the thought of her not being real broke my heart, because I thought she was so cool, and her and I related, and, you know, I guess you could say we didn't want to, but we started to like each other, you know? And that's hard when you live a state away because of the fact that, like, you can't see each other every single day like other normal couples would or something like that. And I guess you could say we started to, like, date or find an interest at some point during that time. And then at around September 2014 to July 2015, you know, a little while after, a couple of months past February and everything, summer came around, and then she moved November, I'm pretty sure, and then she came back July 2015. No, November 2014 to July 2015. She came back from Florida, and during then that's when we started to grow the closest, because we realized, like, you know, now I guess it's better than the area that she was first in. You know, that part of Connecticut she was in wasn't like the greatest, and I realized, like, maybe now we could meet up now that you came back here. And still same thing was going on, but we still talked. I was starting college, I had my first job, and, you know, we were both still happy with each other. And then come this November, we started to fight, and a lot of bad shit started to happen, and we eventually broke up around November 2015. And, you know, that really sucked for the both of us, just because of the fact that, like, obviously we felt as if we were wasting something. We still haven't met yet, and it was like, you know, I was just an impatient piece of shit at the time. And, you know, I mean, eventually everybody gets impatient, especially if you're waiting 3-4 years to meet somebody. Same thing, vice versa, in both our situations. And then we begin to talk around December. She hits me up. She's like, hey, you wanna hang out? And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. You want to meet up that Friday? And this is December, you know, it's reaching near December 18th. And we're talking, and we're going to meet up. And then I'm like, why not? Let's give it a shot. And then I didn't tell anyone where I was headed, and I decided to go to Grand Central Station to meet her and pick her up. And we went there, and I met up with her, and it was amazing. I really thought it was really cool. I thought it was great, like, to be honest. When I met up with her, I was like, you know, I took a taxi over because I'm like, I can't waste any time. I can't take the subway. I can't have anything stop me. So I took the quickest way there. I took an Uber, and I'm heading there, and I'm going as fast as I can. And eventually, you know, I'm like, where are you? And she's like, I'm at this one entrance. And I'm doing like laps around Grand Central Station trying to find her. And she's at this one entrance. And then, you know, like I said, this is from 2014, and then you fast forward, it's 2015, almost 2016, because it's in December. It's almost like 2-3 years later, and I'm thinking like, wow, you know, I'm finally gonna see her. And you know, after all the doubt and all the hate for me even talking to her and just everything, I'm finally doing it. And then I'm running around Grand Central, and I finally see her in the entrance. And I was speechless. Like, I didn't even know. I was talking on the phone with her the whole time, and I saw her, and all I could really say is, holy shit. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it's you. And I ran inside, and I hugged her, and I tried to pick her up, but I'm not that strong. And she's like, you know, I cried. I was so happy. I was just, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up. I cried. I was like, holy shit, I'm so happy I finally met you and everything. And it was just great. Like, I was so happy, like, after her going from Connecticut to Florida, and then that was my senior year. She was there, and then she came back when I'm going to college to Connecticut, and we still haven't met then. And shit was like so hard, and we haven't, you know, seen each other in that whole time. It was my first time meeting her in person, and it was a long distance relationship that whole entire time. And people doubted me, and they called her a catfish. And now today is July 13th, 2016. I'm still with Shauntel. We're planning on attending the same college, and I can honestly say she's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I mean, I don't think I would have met her if it wasn't for the movie Drive, if it wasn't for the movie 4chan. And I mean, like, I can't give a special thanks because it's, you know, more of a movie and a message board, but I guess I could thank 4chan. I guess I could thank the movie. But I mean, more than anything, I mean, I want to thank her for, like, staying the whole time and talking to me. And you know, she's really great. She's like the most loving, forgiving, and caring person I've ever met. And you know, you don't realize it, but you could meet these type of people anywhere. And I met her on a fucking image board, a message-based message board online on my computer, on my phone, and just like that. And she was a state away, and she moved all the way down south to Florida, and then she's all the way back and all over the place for 4 years I've known her. I mean, it's amazing the way things turn out and the way things can end up. I mean, I don't know how professional I can make this video. I'm not trying to make it professional. I'm just here to tell you guys a story. But yeah, thank you guys if you watched all of this, and a big thank you to Shauntel. And if you're watching this, which I'm guessing you are after I send this to you, I love you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next story time. Thank you guys again for watching this. I appreciate it, and it means a lot. See you guys around. Did I really call 4chan a movie?